Cholesterol. It's a word that you may have seen or heard many times before. Maybe you've seen it on cereal boxes, or people told you that high cholesterol is unhealthy and causes you to die of heart disease. But what exactly is it? Cholesterol is a fat-like substance or lipid that is needed within all cells. It contributes to many things such as keeping the cell membrane intact and become precursors to hormones like steroids. There are two types of cholesterol within the human body, LDL and HDL. LDL stands for low-density lipoproteins, and HDL stands for high-density lipoproteins. Commercially, HDL is known as good cholesterol and LDL is known as bad cholesterol. Why are they categorized into good and bad? Research shows that LDL cholesterol is one of the major factors that causes plaque to build up within the arteries, which is a condition also known as atherosclerosis. HDL cholesterol helps lower LDL levels and keeps them from forming plaque. Although they are deemed as good and bad, both are essential to bodily functions. Don't misunderstand when we say LDL cholesterol and HDL cholesterol. Remember, they stand for low-density lipoproteins and high-density lipoproteins. They aren't cholesterol itself, but transporters of cholesterol. Lipoproteins basically have a single phospholipid layer and an apolipoprotein layer that surrounds the central core, which contains triglyceride and cholesterol. How LDL and HDL differ from each other are their structure and function. LDL has a weight that's about 50% of cholesterol and about 25% of protein, while on the other hand, HDL has 20% of cholesterol and 50% of proteins. Proteins are denser than cholesterol, hence low density and high density. Another structural difference is that LDL contains a protein called B100, and HDL contains A1 and A2 proteins. These proteins determine their function. LDL is responsible for delivering cholesterol to the cells of the body. This contributes to several things such as the cell membrane maintenance mentioned earlier. HDL is involved in reverse cholesterol transport. What this means is that HDL is synthesized and secreted from the liver and collects cholesterol to return to the liver. The liver secretes the cholesterol in bile or makes it into bile salts, which are needed for digestion. Doctors monitor blood for LDL and HDL concentrations in patients to understand how much cholesterol is being delivered to the cell and carried back into the liver. By monitoring the concentrations, doctors can assess the patient's health status. For example, high levels of HDL will ensure that LDL levels are being kept to a healthy requirement needed within the body. It promotes good heart health. While on the other hand, if LDL concentrations were higher than HDL concentrations, it could indicate future cardiovascular problems for the patient. LDL is usually blamed to be the main perpetrator for causing atherosclerosis due to the fact that it carries cholesterol through the bloodstream to the cells and contains about 50% cholesterol in weight. As it passes through the vessels, the cholesterol can stick to the vessel walls. High concentrations of LDL cholesterol can cause plaque to form on the blood vessels, creating risk for heart attacks or even strokes. HDL, on the other hand, would be helpful as it collects the cholesterol from the bloodstream back to the liver. The collection reduces the amount of plaque formed on the vessel walls, thus reducing the risk for cardiovascular disease.
Created using Powtoon.